Ladies and gentlemen, it's been 5 days since Paul George and Jaylen Brown were traded for each other. And I still can't believe this trade happened. I still cannot believe the Boston Celtics would trade a guy who's been with their organization for 10 years, who's won the Finals MVP, who's coming off his best season, MVP caliber season. I still can't believe 5 days later that they would trade him for 36-year-old Paul George. That's terrible. That is horrible. That is horrific. That is horrendous. That is just, it's absurd, okay? I can't believe it. I saw the post, the trade, the alert on my phone. Jaylen Brown traded for Paul George. I was in shock. 5 days later, I'm still in shock. But this closes the Boston Celtics window, okay? This closes their championship window. And really, perhaps it's maybe been closed for a little bit, you know. Jaylen Brown kind of carried the Celtics last season. They were the 2 seed. They won 56 games, but, you know, obviously they were eliminated in the first round. No Tatum in Game 7. But they still were playing a 7 seed Philadelphia 76ers team. And you'd think that the 2 seed, no Tatum anyways, considering they play without Tatum for 3/4 of the season, you'd think, hey, they can probably still get this job done, and they just couldn't. So maybe Boston's championship window has been closed, or maybe there's been a sliver, you know? Maybe the window's open just a sliver, but it is definitely shut right now. It is completely shut. You got rid of JB for PG, and that's terrible. That is straight up, that's a garbage trade. But what especially makes this trade shut the door on Boston is how good every other Eastern Conference team is. In my opinion, there is at least 7 teams better than the Boston Celtics right now. That puts them, and we don't even know where LeBron James is going, but that puts Boston as a play-in team. Okay? I think Boston will be a play-in team. And they ain't going to be 7, and they might not even be 8. And I won't be shocked whatsoever. I will have zero shock to my system. Zero surprise. You can't surprise me if the Boston Celtics miss the playoffs. I genuinely think there is a very good chance that these Celtics miss the playoffs. All right, because here, let me put it for you. Let me put it like this for you. The New York Knicks, in my opinion, right now are better than the Boston Celtics. They just won the NBA championship. They're better than Boston. The Toronto Raptors just traded for Kawhi Leonard. They got just an insane defensive duo in Scotty Barnes and the Claw Kawhi Leonard. And they got a lot of other good players around them. All right. They've got the Philadelphia 76ers, who just beat them after being down 3-1 in the playoffs, came back to beat them in 7 in the TD Garden, and then traded away their best player to that team, to the Sixers. The Sixers are better than the Boston Celtics. The Indiana Pacers will be better than the Boston Celtics. With their starting 5, their star guard, Tyrese Halliburton, returning next season. They got Andrew Nembhard, Aaron Nesmith, Pascal Siakam, Ivica Zubac. They'll all be healthy. A lot of people think, you know, the Pacers last year, their troubles were just Tyrese being injured. Oh, how could a team be so bad when they lose just one player? Well, the fact of the matter is a lot of that team wasn't healthy at all, right? Then the Detroit Pistons, they were just the 1 seed. They've got the young trio of Cade Cunningham, an MVP candidate, Asar Thompson, a Defensive Player of the Year candidate, and Jalen Duren, an all-star center. They are going to be better than the Boston Celtics. The Miami Heat, with Giannis and Bam, coached by Eric Spoelstra. I don't care who else they got around Giannis. I don't care who else. Miami finds diamonds in the rough all the time, okay? It ain't even something worth mentioning at this point. It's just common They will be better than the Boston Celtics. And the Cleveland Cavaliers will also be better than the Boston Celtics. You know, I don't see how Boston's going to be better than Cleveland. And LeBron James might go to some of these teams. He might go to Philly. He might go to Miami. He might go to Cleveland. So that's at least 7 teams that will be better than the Boston Celtics, in my opinion. And then when we want to talk about teams that'll be in the play-in, okay, I could see the Charlotte Hornets making the play-in. I think the Charlotte Hornets will make the playoffs. I'm more confident in the Charlotte Hornets making the playoffs than the Boston Celtics. Charlotte has a lot of depth. They might not have the biggest names. They might not have a Jason Tatum. Okay. But they got a lot of depth. I mean, they've got the star rookie, Con Knipple. They got Brandon Miller, all-star potential. You throw in guys like Naz Reid, Grayson Allen, Royce O'Neal, Kobe White, Moussa Diabate. I think the Charlotte Hornets are going to make the playoffs. Okay? Now, maybe they won't. Maybe they won't, but I think they will. And I think they genuinely might make it over Boston. When you want to think about other play-in teams, the Washington Wizards, honestly, they could be a playoff team. The East is stacked, man. It's so crazy. The Wizards with Trae Young, Keyshawn George, AJ DeBonsa, Anthony Davis, Alex Sarr. That's a way better starting 5 than the Celtics have. The Celtics have Peyton Pritchard, Derek White, Paul George, Jason Tatum, and Neemias Queta. And they got practically no depth on that bench other than Mitchell Robinson. And the Bulls, I don't know. The Bulls, they're a wild card. The Boston Celtics championship window is shut. The fact that they made this trade is terrible.